was the best of days and the worst of days. It's Monday again. Now, most people wouldn't consider Monday to be the best of days under, well, almost any cases. But for me, Monday is game day. So once I can finally manage to slog through the 7.5 hour encounter that is a day at the office, I can come home, have some dinner, and then run my game. So, yes, one of the best of days. This morning, I'm going to talk a bit about tonight's game. So I will say now, my players, I know a few of you are subscribing. If you're watching it, and it's Monday still, we haven't had the game yet, switch off, come back and watch it tomorrow. Okay, they've had time to switch off now. Because I will kill them if I find out that they've watched this before the game. Not them, but their characters. Horribly. Yeah, so, tonight's game. Where did we leave off last week? We're in the middle of Mr. X conducting the ritual to restore his memory. We'll be finishing that up tonight. I don't think he's going to especially like the results, but he could surprise me and really like it. So, who knows? He will start to remember some of his past. The fact that he is not him, but excuse me. He is not a him, but a them. There'll be some roles involved to remember how many of the soul's memories he restores, but in effect, he is multiple people. They basically took dozens of people from their homes and used all of their life essence to create this one being. So depending on how the ritual finishes, he might get not one set of memories back, but multiple sets of memories back. And it will be interesting to see how he deals with that. Beyond there, we are still rolling through that time lapse that I mentioned, so we're not doing a straight time lapse cutscene. It's not one session we end and the next session 12 months later. Because the characters are doing a lot during that 12 months, we're just speeding through it. Because it is downtime things, but it's still things that are taking a bit of time to handle in game. Buying things, traveling to the next location they're planning to work out of, crafting a couple magical items, looking for some information. They're also trying to clear up a number of bounties that are on their heads, some of which might not end the way they're hoping they will. The main one that they're trying to get out from under, I believe, is there is a group called the Fiery Swords of Order, a group of paladins who are currently looking for the crew to question them about the death of two of their paladins. Now, basically, the situation was that the ship's crew, the ship was transporting 5 priests. Specifically, they were 1T priests of Dendar. But they were paying passengers. In the world of Spelljammer, you kind of can't automatically condemn someone just for having an evil alignment. There are a lot of evil people who are functioning members of society, just like our world today. Anyway, basically what we're looking at is they were transporting these 5 priests, and before they could get them to their destination, 2 paladins came on board the ship and basically said, "We want them. They've committed crimes against us. Turn them over to us now." And the crew kind of decided, well, we're going to piss off somebody either way, and we'd rather piss off Dendar than a bunch of paladins. So they let the paladins have them. The paladins executed all of them right then and there, and then left. As far as the ship's crew knows, that's what happened. Now, this next bit, if my players are still watching and should not be, will be a spoiler, so take it out of character, but in character you've got no idea. The next thing that happened was someone had the 2 paladins killed. So, the last anyone ever saw of the paladins was on board this ship. They left the docks. Both of them had the ability to fly, so they left the docks basically saying, we're going to, detain this ship and capture these prisoners, and then we'll return. And they didn't return. So yeah, the paladins blame the death of their people on whatever happened on this ship. And it's going to be interesting if they can prove... I know they're going to say they didn't do it, and we, out of character, know they didn't do it. But in character, can they prove they didn't do it? Because the person who did it made it look like they did it. Not that that was a motivation for it or anything, but, that's how it is. So that will be an interesting kind of social, political encounter tonight. Depending on how it goes, it could become a combat encounter. I don't know. There's also a couple other bounties that they're talking about possibly trying to clear out. With the elves. I don't think they're going to try to mess with the Brawl Guard, because that could get very messy. So, that should... Between finishing the time lapse, we're currently 3 months into the 12. We've talked about things for the next kind of 6 months after that, searching for items and things of that nature. So that's going to take up... I think that'll probably take up a good half of the session, finishing the 12 months. And then we'll get on to the bounties. From there, the crew will be in a sphere called Night. Basically, their goal was to get to the sphere of Night during the 12 months, let the ship do a few cargo runs out of Night while they're finishing up their stuff, using the NPC crews basically to run those cargo runs. Because being in Night at the end of this puts them in the position that they are near where they think their next destination is, which is a sphere that's off the beaten track, a sphere called Alsterna. Now, for this campaign, Alsterna is a lost sphere. Now, what I mean by that is not that it's lost, it's still there, but no one knows the safe paths to get there. It's not on any of the primary shipping lanes. You're traveling basically through the black. And if you don't know how to navigate it, you might not get there. You might just sail through the black forever. It is also known as the Titan Home. It is the place where the original giants come from. Just for a bit of background, I've taken a bit of liberty with it. In my world, the Titans were the first giants, and then as the generations passed, they were able to pass on less and less of their power to the next generation, which is why you've ended up now with giants rather than Titans. So for each type of giant, there is a type of Titan, and they are nearly immortal. So those of them who have not been killed are still alive. But something happened in Austerna, and I'm not going to give too much away of this because it won't resolve this week, and I don't want to give my players spoilers for too far ahead. So I'll talk about it closer to when we get there, but basically something happened in Austerna, and it's thrown off the order of the Ordning. And one of the group's goals is to go there because they already met a Titan, or they believe he's a Titan, correctly, who was trying to get back to Austerna from what they understood. And I think they want to go there and figure out what's going on. They also have a mission from Sanshara, who I've mentioned previously, to bring him back evidence that Austerna still exists. Like I said, everyone thinks it's been destroyed or vanished or is gone somehow. But if they bring him back evidence that it still exists, then the contract that he has on Mr. X, he'll basically tear up. So they're trying to go there to get Mr. X's freedom. They're also trying to go there to find out what's going on with the Titans and the Giants. I don't think they'll get there this week, though. They might. I mean, they might. But I don't count on it. Anyway, that's what I think is going to happen in tonight's session. I'll come back tomorrow with a look at what actually happened. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be more of my random rambling topics, as it has been. Saturday will be another game recap. I'm managing to cover 1 or 2 sessions a week, so it's probably going to take quite a few weeks to get caught up to the current campaign. Anyway, like, subscribe, follow any of the links that pop up that you might think are interesting. Have a great day.